So if I play this, I don't know if you're familiar with this song.
Yes.
You are. Si Adelita se fuera con otro. Okay. It is a Mexican song. Is it sacred? Is it sacred?
No.
It's not.
No.
However, somebody took the first phrase and then transformed this popular song in a hymn. Right? So if you speak Spanish, Cuán gloriosa será la mañana. It's a hymn that speaks about the second coming of Christ. So we got Adelita, we baptized the ranchera into a hymn. How did that happen? Well, in musical terms, we call that contrafacta. What is contrafacta? Pastor Maldonado was talking about Martin Luther before. Martin Luther is the king of contrafacta in music, because what he would do is he would understand what the people liked, which melodies were familiar to them, but he didn't bring these melodies as they were. I would like to use the verb baptize, because I think this is what we did. We kind of redeem the music. We give it a different treatment. We put Christian lyrics, we change the rhythm, we harmonize in 4 parts, we put a different accompaniment, and now the music sounds sacred. Why? Because there is a contrafacta, which is a treatment. There is a certain transformation. Yeah? So, another example would be Johann Sebastian Bach. He was writing his Passion, St. Matthew Passion, one of the most beautiful works, and then sacred works. And he went to a tavern and he listened to this music. So there were drunk people, drunk men, just singing this melody line. And Johann Sebastian Bach was a hard worker. He was writing music 10, 12, 15 hours a day. And he was looking for ideas to write some cantatas of his St. Matthew Passion. And he wanted to portray Jesus on the cross. And nothing was good enough for him to write something related to that moment. So when he listened to this music, he found that he would like to redeem this melody line, because it was so trivial, so profane, and he said, you know what I want to do? I want to transform this. I know I can use contrafacta. By the way, Johann Sebastian Bach was Lutheran, right? So, and this is what he came with. Isn't it beautiful? So from that's contrafacta. So why did these composers use contrafacta? Because they were trying to reach their generation with music relevant to their generation, lyrics that will communicate the message of God, and the music, the tension, this is the most difficult thing I consider. The tension is, you have to reach people where they are with an eternal message of a transcendent God, but if you give them something that is really hard for them to understand, musically, it may not connect with them. So it's the same thing that faces the pastor every time he has to speak. So does he use Christian words? Does he go to a dictionary with Christian or Adventist words and say, I will only speak these words because this is the message that I want to give. Well, he's using words in a way that people will understand to convey the message of God, but some words, or most of the words, the significance of the meaning will be given by the context, right? If I say, for example, way, is way a Christian word or is it a secular word? Way. W-A-Y.
It depends.
It depends. If I open my Bible in John 14,
Jesus is the way. I am the way.
I am the way. This is Jesus speaking. So the word way, it's used in a sacred or Christian context. But if I tell you, I want it my way, maybe I am Burger King assistant. But in any case, it's not a secret context, right? It's the same word. Same thing happens with music. So if I do this, is this Christian or not? It depends.
Mm-hmm.
It depends of the use, the context, and the meaning. Last one. I was in Russia some years ago in Moscow, and pastor wife was my friend, is my friend, and she asked me to play something for offering, and I played this one. I love this hymn. And I made an arrangement. Something like that. My grandfather had passed away just a week before, and he loved this hymn. It was his favorite one. So I was thinking about, seeing my grandpa again when Jesus comes and all of that. And I was playing the hymn, and all of a sudden I hear the church murmuring, and the pastor will come and tell me, "Don't play that. What are you thinking?" And then I didn't know what to do. And then somebody came, displaced me from the bench, and I started playing something different. And I was confused. And I told Adriana, my friend, what happened? What did I do wrong? And she said, "Do you know who wrote that music?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Sibelius." And I know that Sibelius was not Christian for most of his life. Not only that, he played a little bit with Spiritism and Masonry. So I was like, maybe it's that background. But usually when we sing a hymn or a spiritual song or a song, we don't research on the composer's bio, right? Because there's nobody just, right? I guess if we had to sing only from holy people, we wouldn't read the Bible. Because David, for example, he's the biggest psalmist in the Bible, and what a life, right? So I thought, well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's because Sibelius. I was like, well, yeah, it's Sibelius, but you know what the hymn comes from. I was like, yeah, it's Finland. It's a symphonic poem, and somebody took a little portion of it, an expert, and did contrafacta to it. So put a Christian lyrics and transform a little bit the form and the harmony. I was like, but what's wrong? There's a lot of contrafacta in the hymnal book, and we don't have any problem with that. I was like, Adriana, Sibelius wrote Finland to pay tribute to the victory of the of Finland over the Russian in the war. And you're in the Russia. You're here in Russia. Hello. So I'll say it again. Finland was a work being composed by Sibelius to celebrate the victory of Finland over Russia. So it's not in their hymnal book, obviously, but it's in mine. So when I hear ba-di-da-da, that's sacred music to me, and that's close to my heart, but it's not to them. So the music, the notes are the same, but the context, the meaning is different. That is why sometimes when we sing together, there is certain music that for me is inspiring, but maybe for you is not. And when we gather together and worship together, if we are from the same country, kind of the same generation, it's a lot easier. Or, for example, if